Good day, and here we are yet again with another commentary. Essentially, you guys requested it, and I shall give it to you. And look at that effect! It almost looks good. That took probably 3 hours to do. But anyway, what was I? The reason I chose Predator Concrete Jungle for the first one is, this is an interesting game that I'm reviewing here. It took me a while to get to it. I think like a year, actually. But this was actually one of the earlier games that I reviewed personally. That requires a great deal of explanation, actually, now that I think of it. Also, the reason why I just jumped straight into let's take a look at Predator Bloody 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 is because there's initially like a 5-minute segment of me talking about Predator Month, which never got made. Well, it did get made, but I didn't like it, so it was deleted before it could go up. This is the best thing to come out of Predator Month. Everything else in Predator Month just seemed kind of boring and generic. I was like, that is not going up. But anyway, when I got this game way back in the day, I actually did like it, but there were times where it would piss me off, and I would literally say aloud, because, like, usually I would think this while I was playing it, but sometimes it would piss me off so much, it'd be like, and that's why I just died. The controls are so stiff, the camera, why would you design it like this? I would do that. Oh, there's Batman. Oh, God. Oh, God. I know I said something stupid when it came to that. Batman pissed me off back in the day solely because it was during the hate period, ladies and gentlemen, during the hate period. You got to forgive me for that. Okay, the hate period. Before we get into the whys of this particular game review, the hate period, man, it's where like you're already unhappy, and in the little and the smallest thing will send you off the edge even further. So when Batman, Arkham Asylum had like moments that kind of pissed me off, like the Killer Croc bit, I was like, the whole game sucks now. Hey, I'm like any normal internet troll. Anyway. So yeah, for those that care, and I'm pretty sure so more do than should, I do like Arkham Asylum. I didn't replay it recently, but Mizio did, and it looked pretty good. And the Killer Croc bit was easy. I just was an idiot. Grant Morrison, he's a writer of comics. Unfortunately, I of course don't remember what he actually did comic-wise, like at all. It's like comic writers and stuff like that, since I'm not really that big of a comic fan, unless it's like AVP related, or I read some weird comics. By weird I mean like not really mainstream. The only comic series I read on a regular basis, like I literally read it each month it comes out because it's so good, is Uber. And that's because I'm an alternate history fan, and it's an alternate history universe where both the Allies and the Nazis invent this super soldier serum. Not like Captain America, though. In fact, it's a lot more visceral than that. And it's where World War II is extended by... Well, there's no way to even know how long it's going to be extended by now, because the comic series isn't over yet. Because both sides has Atomic Superman, although they're not atomic, and it's not played funnily at all. It's not a comedic comic in the slightest. In fact, it's very, and here I am, I'm going on about the costumes. I used to do this a lot. I should really start doing that again. See, that's the thing. That's why I love reviewing good stuff, because then I can actually get, passionate about it. Oh! That's an execution. But I should probably stop talking about Uber. But Uber's great. It's got great storylines, great art. It's an Avatar Press comic. And for those that know about Avatar Press, you know it's going to be dark, you know it's going to be gritty, and you know there's going to be lots of blood and guns. And blood guns. But seriously, though, it's a great comic. So yeah, here we have Predator Concrete Jungle, the gameplay. This, of course, is the PS2 version. I originally played it on the classic Xbox, but fuck the classic Xbox, because that shit breaks if you look at it wrong, which always pissed me off. Back in the day, I was like, the classic Xbox is better because it is more like a computer than the PlayStation 2. And guess which one still works? PlayStation 2. I still have the original fat one that I got. It's actually kind of interesting. I bought the fat PS2 after saving up what I considered a considerable amount of money from one of my earlier jobs that I cannot recall for some reason right now. Maybe it'll come to me later. But anyway, it was a considerable amount of money at the time. Oh, I got two health. I was jumping around. I can't see where the hell I'm going. But anyway, it's a considerable amount of money at the time that I saved up. I don't remember how much it was. It was to get the then new Xbox 360. And then I decided against it. And you know what? That was probably a good move, because it probably would have fucking red ringed. But where was I? Yeah, instead I went ahead and got a new classic Xbox, and he's exuberant there, isn't he? And now he has no head. But anyway, I got the classic Xbox and the PlayStation 2. That classic Xbox long since broke, but the PlayStation 2 still works. And I made sure to get the fat one, and I'm not sure why. Oh yeah, I remember why. Because the fat one you can like put in a hard drive, and you could potentially torrent some of those games and play it on the legit hardware. But we don't talk about that. These graphics don't look too bad. For those that may want to know, and I'm going to tell you even if you don't want to know. Well, I just reused that clip. You suck, General Lotz. Why are you using clips? I was so bad about that back in the day, because like I would like record like maybe 30 minutes of gameplay footage and have like an almost 30-minute review. As this record, I'm working on the Killing Floor review, and I've got about an hour's worth of footage, but I still intend to get more. One of the reasons why I have so little footage in this game is there's a good reason for that. There's such a good reason for that. The first, I'm using a Dazzle in this review to get the footage. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's shit. It's complete shit. I'm pretty sure you can buy stuff that's way, way, way better now. I hope you can. You can buy stuff that's way better then, but it was like, I need a video capture device. And I still wasn't, into Newegg and stuff like that. I wasn't good at researching because I guess I didn't care that much. And so my idea was, I'll just go to this computer store, and I'll get it there, because they'll know what they're talking about, right? It wasn't Best Buy. I was one step above Best Buy, but I still wasn't very high up. And they suggested the Dazzle DC something or other, whatever. I forget what the fuck it was. And like, this gameplay footage isn't bad. I'm not going to complain about it. It looks good enough. It doesn't look all pixelated. Incidentally, I noticed something interesting that I found at Best Buy yesterday. I'm not sure what's over there, honestly. Oh, I went over there. Anyway, doesn't matter. You don't need to hear about my random errands. But anyway, Best Buy. They actually sell for like $60 this video recorder that looks like it's about 8 billion times better quality than that Dazzle was. Anyway, the Dazzle, you plug it into the USB and it records, standard def. And since I was using the PS2, yeah, well, it worked for that. There's only a few problems. It did not work with the main computer that I had at the time. Instead, it worked with my laptop, which is bad, because my laptop was, a laptop that I bought not for gaming, not for... Actually, I'll tell you, that's actually kind of funny if I get a chance to get into that. Maybe the laptop was just, for note-taking, and that's about it. And it only interfaced with that. Oh yeah, that's where the gameplay randomly slows down. Nobody noticed that it slowed down. Don't ask me why it did that. The Dazzle would do that sometimes. It just would slow down for no reason. Also, it would desync all the goddamn time. But even then, I was like, I'm still gonna maybe do a Predator Conquer Jungle Let's Play. Thank God I didn't do that. God, that would have sucked. Getting the thing to work through my laptop, which my laptop was so slow and had the smallest hard drive imaginable, couldn't even record that much game footage. And I had to play it in this little window. The software that came with the Dazzle was complete ass. Oh my good God, ladies and gentlemen, did that suck. Incidentally, I just remembered, do you know what I edited this with? I edited this with Corel Video Studio 11. Just to show you how old this video is, that is a video editing program that I bought for like $40 off of Amazon.com and edited so many of my early videos with it. And when I finally did get Adobe CS4 4, I think is what it was. See, I'm still using CS 5.5 because I ain't got that kind of money anymore to get cool new CS6. But Video Studio 11 was actually pretty good. Honestly, this will probably sound stupid. I kind of like Corel Video Studio 11 a bit more than a lot of these than Adobe in some respects. I mean, obviously Adobe's way more advanced and all that, but I don't know. It's like Corel. I kind of grew up with that, so to speak. That's how all the earliest videos got done. I actually really like those cutscenes. They look really good. How did that predator survive that? It's on his wrist! Come on! What did fucking Korn rescue him or something? I'd have bought that. There's his eye. It's gone. Oh yeah, this is. I know what's being read here. Ned the Pred. Incidentally, that ages this quite a bit, doesn't it? Merry fucking Christmas. I thought that was funny. But this is, of course, way before Game of Thrones, of course. See, that's the funny thing. Anybody who used the names Ned or Stark has to say that. Because everyone's like, oh, did you get that from Game of Thrones? Game of Thrones hasn't always existed, goddammit. Back in the day. But I know that even back when this came out, Game of Thrones was somewhat popular in book form. Although I never read it. You wouldn't even heard of it, really. So yeah, Ned Stark gets the shaft every time in any universe. But, oh yeah, look at that background. There's the cheap, horribly cheap webcam. But hey, it got me through. I still have those speakers to this day. And those speakers have got to be almost like 5 years old, but they're good. There's that monitor. I think that's the Dell monitor that I'm still using. I still have that shirt, too. What's with that little hand thing? My hand motions were always strange back in the day. But, you know, I could... See, that's the thing. I don't like talking about the review itself. Like, the game. You guys already know. There's actually going to be audio there. Timpedia was supposed to voice that Predator Elder again. And I think he did, but I cut it out just because I felt it was too goofy. And if it is there, and I'm unaware of it now, then yeah, it was left in. But theoretically, it was cut out. Incidentally, going back to the Killing Floor review that as of this recording is being made... in that one, there was a whole joke on classism, because they're like, and then you have to pick your class, and then they like make some really classist remarks, and like the M-Man shows up, there's this big storyline, cut, because it felt like I felt like it was interfering with the review itself. But, let's see, where are we? Oh yeah, the Dazzle, I recorded a shit ton of footage for that. Oh yeah, I'm just gonna throw him at that guy. And wow, way to miss, idiot. Way to go, he's still running. And smackety smack. I think, just to show you how big of a fucking nerd I am for this shit. Yeah, I think you had to hunt down a serial killer. That's kind of prophetic. And I'll tell you why. Oh yeah, there's that really cool skinning bit. Which I thought was pretty amazing back in the day. I mean, these days that doesn't look like very good graphics. But back in the day, I remember that thinking that looked pretty good, actually. But anyway, we kill a serial killer. That's just before we kill this guy. That's who old Nettie here decided to kill. And it's kind of prophetic because in the movie Predators, there is a serial killer. And if you haven't seen that movie, that's a big-ass spoiler. But why haven't you seen that movie by now? But yeah, but there's a serial killer that... Actually, no, the Predator doesn't end up killing him, but he is on the Predator game preserve planet. Oh, this part. I'll actually relate to you guys an interesting story about this part when I first played it. I didn't think, and this is how, this is the funny thing actually here. For me, I'm like one of those people that will adapt and overcome, okay? Now look, I'm all jumping around, but I didn't know you could jump on his back and rip his head off. Do you know how I killed him with not knowing that important thing? Because I still killed him, I still finished this level. I did it. I did it by basically chucking firebombs, because you can get that in that level. I'm like, this is so hard. How are you supposed to defeat these guys if you can't kill them? I mean, but I did it. I killed them with firebombs. These days, that could be like a YouTube thing. I don't know. Do people do that anymore? I wonder. Remember back in the day, people on YouTube would be like, kill X enemy with only like a rock or something, you know? You know, because like I could show that, like, kill the Riot Police bot Dreadnought guys with nothing but firebombs. So yeah, I do find it funny that Predator kind of like tries to mix magic and tech and aliens and shit by having the voodoo guy there. Like, you can scan him, it'll say like he has some sort of unknown ability to precognitively dodge projectile weapons. It's like, seriously, there's magic? I want to be a mage Predator. I want to be able to chuck fireballs. And realistically, I can. So long as by chucking fireballs, you mean firing it out of a cannon that's strapped to your back. That's chucking fireballs, I guess. But yeah, had to use fire. I did that a lot back in the day. I was a terrible gamer, still am. It's like, oh, here's this easy way to do it. Oh, wait, I didn't pay attention. Here's this thing that's going to take me 2 hours to do, but by God, I'll do it. I do like this whole cyberpunk aesthetic. I would have said, if I'd actually thought about it, and I didn't, I would have mentioned that it was like cyber. I would have like made references to like Batman Beyond or something. Now that'd be an interesting concept. Batman Beyond meets the Predator. I mean, obviously Terry McGinnis would win. Oh yeah, this is that Godfather thing. If I'd known any more about, oh yeah, I did mention it. I did make a joke. If I had known the man at the time, I would have had him like draw this really primitive poster of like the Predator versus Marlon Brando. I did make that joke. And sometimes I forget what jokes I make. I should have made that joke. You did, General. Oh, well, go me then. Just a building that has sex on it. Sex, sex, sex. Sex, 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 sex. Why would you need to go to a building for that? Why not just use the internet? Hell, this is the cyberpunk future. Shouldn't there be like some sort of a pod you can get in? This actually is sort of an aged cyberpunk future. Like, why is that workstation locked behind her? Why is that workstation on the wall? What kind of sense does that make? Oh, and that also reminds me of what I should have made a joke about that I didn't. The Borgias. In 2010, I'm not even sure if Assassin's Creed 2 was even out, but I certainly hadn't played it by then. I had, of course, bought Assassin's Creed 1, but I hadn't finished it. If I had actually if Assassin's Creed 2 existed at the time, or I played it, I would have made a joke about it, you know? Yeah, fucking Ezio Auditore meets the Predator, and they have to take down the Borgias, like a time-displaced Ezio. I kind of like that concept. You kind of are Ezio in this game, aren't you? You're trying to get revenge. Obviously, you didn't lose, like, your family, but you're still trying to get revenge, and you are an assassin, except you don't belong to the assassin order or anything, but you do assassinate these guys, because, well, you're a predator. That's sort of the name of the game. Oh, you ain't got no head no more. I remember this level. This level was kind of hard. Okay. I like this game because, in other games, you can fuck up a lot, but in a game like this, it has that classical level of difficulty that I mentioned, where you really have to know what you're doing, otherwise you're going to die a fuck ton. Oh, that's where I threw one of the bombs by accident. I hadn't realized. Oh, there's Hongo. Yeah, he was a big villain, wasn't he? That's why I killed him in like... Oh yeah, this was this joke. This joke. I thought I was pretty clever on this one. So the Predator has some sort of sexual fixation with killing. You know what? I would... Oh, God. I know what this joke is. The Arnold Schwarzenegger voice clip. I knows it. It doesn't take that much setup, lads. Condense it down. Oh, yeah, it's like I had to pause. Allow me to think a moment. There's Schwarzenegger. You guys can't hear it, but in the actual video it's there. And you know what's funny? My hair still hasn't changed. I mean, of course, in my Atari 2600 review, you saw my giant hair, but as of this recording, it's back to the way it is. There's the Terminators. You know, I actually found the concept of Dashide having to go after these increasingly powerful foes quite entertaining. I mean, obviously that's the idea of a game, right? But in most of the Predator movies, like, he just fights, you know, humans. But I like the idea of the Predator going against, like, these cyberpunk monstrosities, and he gets his ass kicked by, like, a million of them. You didn't steal the Secret of Fire from the gods. You already had the Secret of Fire, you idiot. Prometheus Tech, that's what they call it. And, of course, there's only the Utani Corporation. You know what's funny? any of this makes sense to me. You know, or like the humans got that. There are two ways humans could have got the tech they had in the movie Alien. Because basically, any of these prequels, you know, you gotta ask yourself for a moment, how did they get that tech by 2130, whatever the fuck it was? Oh yeah, I'll tell you about the trophy wall. I thought that was a cool touch. I mean, once again, this game had some effort put behind it. You wouldn't see stuff like this today. Unless it were like a fan mod or something. Like, when it comes to prequels of Alien, like, back like in modern day, you have to ask yourself, how did it come to be that by the 22nd century, humanity had, you know, a commercial tug vessel that could go, you know, thousands and thousands of light years? You know, how do you have it? How do you have space truckers? Because space truckers implies a level of technical sophistication greater than, here's this one science vessel that can go out once. Okay? I remember this boss battle was fucking hard back in the day. I died so many times here. Dark Souls eats your heart out. Dark Souls is what we talk about. Oh yeah, it's as hard as Dark Souls. But back in the day, classic games were always as hard as Dark Souls. And you always had to find that one way to kill him. But, yeah. The only way for humanity to have that level of tech by the 22nd century was, of course, either they had Predator tech. How he survived that shot to the eye, I'm not really sure. I guess he's got a good skull. And apparently it's filled with nothing but air. But anyway, either they got Predator tech, or they had Terminator tech. Now, a lot of you guys probably don't know about this, but I mentioned it in a video once. He's just walking in like a boss. Like he's a stone cold killer. Why is that workstation locked? What does that even mean? Yep, here come the Xenos. I squeed so much when this happened. I was hoping that they were going to show up. Then they had the Scarface reference, but I never saw Scarface. But I still knew what it was. This is another hard level that if you don't know what you're doing. But let's see, where was I? I was talking about something important. Oh yeah, once again, you do not fight. You just run. Just knock them off. What the fuck was I talking about? I hate it when my brain just gets replaced by Folger's crystals. Oh yeah, Terminator tech, because there's the Alien versus Predator versus the Terminator, a complete shit comic. Although the art style's pretty good. But in that comic, it's where the Skynet war actually took place, but somehow the military covered it up. Not really sure how that works, but whatever. Like, a flower brings a bee. I don't think you'd compare a bee to the Predator because, well, he may float like a butterfly, but he stings like a fucking Stinger missile, not a bee. You see what I did there? And seriously, why did Hunter there? And I always find, you know, I'm not to insult anybody who's named Hunter. I just think Hunter's one of the more ridiculous names that has gotten popular in recent years. There's the rodent. I mean, come on, man. You got predators fighting alongside fucking samurai. Because they're not ninjas, because they're not highly visible. But, let's see, where was I? Yeah, AVP VT. And that kind of explains why. Oh yeah, there's the Danny Glover joke. What was I? AVP VT. I keep getting off topic and I keep getting distracted. Well, I'm getting really pissed off. Danny Glover, you will submit to my desires. Wait, what? That's terrible. But anyway, so yeah, the Skynet war took place in Alien vs. Predator vs. the Terminator, and it makes sense that if Skynet was able to develop time travel, it developed FTL, or it was adapted to FTL, or something along those lines. So, yeah, by the 22nd century, you might have had that level of tech. I mean, you know what you're saying, like, oh, by the 2030s or something, the Earth has been destroyed, but if you got a bunch of sentient robots that you can bend to your will, they'll rebuild the planet. Then, of course, you got to start sending out ships everywhere because the planet's not going to be able to sustain life and stuff like that, so that makes sense. So, really, Alien, that tech is either built upon Predator tech or Terminator tech. Hard to say which. For some reason, that comic panel got fucked up, and I have no idea as to why. There's that other, there's more Cyberpunk 2099. Well, I mixed two different things. Spider-Man 2099, that was a good comic. I rather liked it myself. Although, personally, I think Terry McGinnis would kick Miguel O'Hara's ass any day of the week. But there's something that will piss everyone off. No, Miguel O'Hara could totally win against Terry McGinnis. Fuck it. Let me tell you something. I'm a Batman fan, so who do you... But then again, I'm also a Spider-Man fan, too, because Spider-Man was also one of my favorite heroes as well. And he didn't stop becoming my favorite hero because of that whole One More Day business. I just kind of stopped. What stopped it for me was that Spider-Man live-action Sam Raimi movie. I didn't like him at all. I thought they sucked. Incidentally, my glasses have not changed that much since 2010. God, I need LASIK. Although my keyboard did. You know, it's funny, I've got this really nice computer, and yet I'm using a keyboard I bought at a garage sale. But I like it, though. It's one of those Dell workstation kind of keyboards. Oh, here is Mugen, or Mugen. I no longer have that on my computer, unfortunately. I wish I did, but I do not. It's back when I had long-ass credits. I'm not the one actually playing any of these. I just have the computer going because they're the only ones that knows the special moves. But I still have the disc. I actually bought Mugen off of eBay, even though I knew it was free. I was like, somebody else needs to do the work. Believe me, I was lazy, but this was laziness circa 2006. And so that's it. This is Dear Watts signing off.